And welcome back to another BobBlast. Hi, I'm Bob Burridge, and this one is part 2 of how I do collages and the glue that I use. And it's all about glue, working with acrylics. And then, as you can tell, I love to do it. Lots of pieces of paper and lots of acrylic glue. And let's get started. I want to try and do one from beginning to end, or at least catch me in the middle of doing one so you can see how I end up the whole process, including putting paint on top of that too. So let me get started. Now I'm ready to play. Let me show you the materials here on my table. First of all, I have the 2 pieces that I'm working on. I will continue on with that. Here's all my tissue paper, my collage papers that I made my own patterns. Speaking about making my own patterns, I actually make a whole bunch of them like this on a page, cut them all up. So I have all these wonderful pieces, haphazard designs. So I like to make my own. That way I have ownership. It's my stuff, right? Make my stripes, of course, and the cardboard. We all do these things, but this is what I'm doing for me. And again, of course, this is my scraper, scraper to get the glue off. These are called catalysts, the rubber, kind of a silicone type of thing. Nothing sticks to it, so it's really nice to be able to wipe the glue around or the paint around, or getting rid of the air bubbles, right, from underneath the paper, and then it just peels right off. Now the glue I'm using, you can use any type of a gel medium. Everybody makes gel medium, and modeling paste, and different kinds of gel mediums. Just know that it's water soluble, it's all acrylic based, and then you can mix it with your paints, your acrylic paints. I'm happen to be using the gel medium from Holbein. It's called gel medium. They also make a beautiful, thicker stuff. It's called modeling paste. You may not be able to see it here on the video, but I'm going to show you one of the pieces I'm working on. Look at all this texture. I'm going to do this so you can see some shadows. So you can scrape and scratch and build it up if you really want that 3-dimensional look in your collages. So great stuff. Just want to let you know that I do use some of this 3D, I call it 3D thicknesses, just to really get in there and carve it just like that. But mostly I'm using a gel medium, okay, acrylic gel medium. The paints I'm using will be also Holbein, and they happen to be translucent. So they're not solid colors. I can see through these colors. That way I can put these translucent colors on top of this and not lose any of this, but changes the whole coloring of the whole thing. Helps to pull it together. I will do that too. Of course, I have my titanium white. Love my white. Lots of white. Big brushes. Do you notice the size of these brushes? These are not tiny little 2-hair brushes. You can't do anything with those. You probably poke your eye out with that stuff. But anyway, big brushes like this. And I'm ready to go. So this first part was kind of from the last BobBlast we did, part 1. This is part 2. How I go and continue on and hopefully finish it. We'll see if we can do that in a short demo, all right? I do have my scissors. Sometimes I use them. Other times I just tear the paper up. I'm going to work on 2 at the same time. Kind of keeps me, motivated and focused on the project at hand. I like to work on 2. I mean, if I have the glue on my brush, I may as well put it somewhere else also. It just happens how I like to work. You don't have to. Now, I like the looseness of how I work, and that's why I do like collages. Big buckets of water, by the way. I'm just going to bring it over here. Big buckets of water, not tiny little coffee cups of water. Big brushes, everything. And I'm standing while I still can. I like to stand so I can use my whole arms, and paint this way, not this way. I'm having fun now. No, I don't do it that way. So here we go. As before, you saw that I put glue over everything. And while it's still wet, that's when I start putting the stuff down. Now, my purpose for this is to continue on and making this woman figure elegant. And I'm like big dresses or something like that. So here we go. I always wet my brush first. So I wet my brush first with just water. And now let's get some glue all over the whole place. We'll start with this one right here. put this in front of me. This is the one I want to work on. So here we go. Glue everywhere. All right. So I'm going to put glue everywhere in here. This is the gel medium, Holbein gel medium. Again, everybody makes this stuff. I happen to like the Holbein because it mixes well with their own paints, right? Now this flows on nicely. Really soak it in. Now let's have some fun. Yeah, I guess I'll give her. I don't use scissors that much, because I like the haphazardness. And again, remember I put the glue over the whole surface, so I just start from the center and getting the air bubbles out, moving out, pulling out the air bubbles this way. And if you still have air bubbles and you don't really care for them that much, I don't mind them. It's a collage, so it is what it is. So if you want to get rid of the bubbles, or at least flatten it out, use one of these catalysts. You see, it's nice. I'm starting from the center, moving out, moving it out. There you go. And of course, you can put some more glue on top of it. I anticipate putting paper everywhere. I don't plan it. I have an idea, but I don't certainly plan the details. I want to be that kid in the sandbox, having a great time. Okay, lots of glue. Yeah, can't miss that glue. Okay, here we go. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, well, I see it developing now. Starting from the center, again, getting all this. I'm going to work quickly. Otherwise, it's like watching somebody knit. You don't want to watch me knit. Here we go. I like that. Got my kneecap here. Clean that up. I like this. And let's use some of these pieces. I'll use this for up here. I'm no dress designer, but we'll see what we can do here. Cool dresses. And some more. Wow, crazy stuff. Oh, I like working with this cheap black tissue paper because it starts to bleed. I mean, this is the stuff you buy this time of the year, you know, Halloween. I buy a lot of that cheap stuff because I like how it falls apart. I like how all this is starting to develop here nicely. I try not to fall in love too soon. Ha ha ha, try and do that. But there you go. With the piece. Make your hand a bit too small. I don't want to get too much detail in here. I just want to show you the techniques that I use. Working all over. I like the haphazardness of this. The spontaneity more than anything is what I like. Oh, that's nice. Oof. Well, I think you get the idea here. Whoa. Cool. Yeah, I like all of this stuff in here. So it's still wet, right? And again, if you want to get rid of some of the excess adhesive, the glue, the medium. Remember, this is gel medium, not liquid medium. This is a gel, so it's like, think of a thick jelly. Oh, good. Now, just for pure fun, let's get a little painting going on here at the same time. Big buckets of water nearby. I'm gonna use blue-ish. Yeah, got some blue. Need some blue. This is the primary cyan. Lots of white. This is my titanium. All right, to make sure I don't get that mixed up with my gesso. Here we go. Wide brush. I'm gonna clean this up just a little bit. Make it more intriguing, I think. Oh, what a color. Whew. Oh boy, oh boy. You're really gonna be different now. Completely changes the whole temperament of this painting here. I'm gonna do some negative space painting here. I'm gonna make it even lighter. Maybe a little bit lighter. Ah, there we go. I do my mixing out here. Don't do your mixing in here to get muddy. And here we go. I like to use flat brushes for this because I can cut in, so to speak. There, whoa, what an arm. I'll leave it here, so I want it to have all the way across here. So here we go. Let's save some of this underpainting stuff here because it's intriguing. Let's do some hair. Whoa, cool hair. There we go. Instant hair. I like these shapes over here. They kind of draw you out of the painting a little bit because there's so much contrast. It says, look over here. So I'm going to soften them out of focus. There you go. So it's still in the painting. I kind of like this, and I'm going to keep this red for now. You know, at least make a decision. We never know if it's going to be the right decision or not, but make a decision. If you're indecisive, your painting will look the same way. Here we go. And a little bit like that. This is unresolved in here. I need to give her an arm. Or no arm. Let's see here. Or have her doing something. I'll address that later. Yeah, don't want to stay too long in one place, because you'll find you're tickling it to death, and you just killed the energy right out of it. If that's what you're looking for. Thin this arm just a little bit. I like the softness in here. I think I'm actually going to get paper towel and soften this edge. Hard edges will draw attention to itself. I'm going to soften it. It's in focus. So now it's out of focus. You see how your eye goes right to here. I'll go back into some more white paint. There it is. It's right here. Again, I don't want to do the whole. This is to remind me for later on, if I want to, come back and work on an arm. Here, that kind of a thing. Yeah, I like to use my hands all the time. Yeah. So I want the attention to be right down in here. That's why I'm giving it more contrast here. Just like that. Kind of like that. All right. So we'll let this go at this point. Oh, I want to make this darker down here, don't I? Yeah, I think I'll make it a little bit darker. More sun. I want to use some primary magenta right on top of this. Oh, what a color. Oh my gosh. There we go. Whew. I love surprising myself. If you think you need to have all the answers before, then you shouldn't be a painter. That's the whole idea of being a painter, is to find out what's working, what isn't working. Make this even darker. Now, one of the things that's so cool about working with translucent or transparent types of paints, first of all, it'll say so on the can or on the bottle or on the tube, show you. And then you come back on top of this, it just, a lot of water, still wet, tone it all down. It's transparent. Bring my eye right up in the air. Oh, yeah. Well, I like where it's going. And we'll let it go away for now. And again, I want to soften the background because it brings her in focus and brings her up closer to you. So now, a good way of looking at this is you can't see it really with all this distraction. And so I like to take a piece of white paper and just put it underneath it as if it were a mat. See, now I can see it. Now I can see where we're going with this one. Well, I don't stop with too long and stare at it at this point because I'd start going back in there and changing things. But I do like to come in and scratch. So I do like the scratching technique of lines. It just adds another texture and a dimension. I mean, if I'm going to be using collage in a really loose abstract technique, I'm going to not use typical utensils to do tiny details. I don't like all this. On the scraping and scratching is nice because it brings back some of the colors that's been underneath and holds the whole painting together too, like that. Soften it down here, out of focus it. This is why I put that salve on my hands. I do hand protection creams, like Burt's Bees or something like that. There we go. Oh, wow. Well, there you go. See, you can see it better when it's on this white piece of paper to act like a mat. And let me spend no more than one more minute to work on the second one as promised. So let me do that now. And put some glue on it, and I'll get right back to you. Now, on my second one, here's a cool thing to do. It's all dried. It's just like at the same place as the other one was, but now this is dried. And I'm so excited. I said, I'm going to keep on painting. Now, there's the collage, there's the painting, there's the storyline, there's the figure. I'm going to be using Marigold, which is my favorite transparent color, Marigold. And it's kind of bluish and purplish. And this is what's really nice about using transparent paint. I'm going to change the whole thing. I always like to say anybody who doesn't change their mind doesn't have one. So here we go. Woo! We'll do this quickly. Wow. Completely changes the temperament. And now I'm ready to let this dry again and continue on this. You see that? That's what's so nice about translucent paints. Everybody makes them, but I happen to like the Holbein only because the quality, there's a lot of pigment in here. It's not really thin, there's a lot of pigment. All right, well, that was part 2 on how I like to get started on doing my collages, mostly about the glues, all right? Make sure you put lots of stuff on your hands. You're going to be full of messiness, especially the glues. The gel medium is the glue you want to use. And hey, you know, let's finish these on part 3. Yay, part 3. And I will finish these things up. So stay tuned. I'll see you again on the next BobBlast. Thanks for watching. Hi there, I'm Bob Burridge, and I'm so excited about going back to Tucson, Arizona, to the Madeline Island workshop. I'm going to be teaching abstract painting and collage, and I'm working on some pieces right now. Abstract painting, collages, these are gold, black, and some of the tissue papers I love to be making and gluing down and creating something every day. Can you imagine 5 days of painting on a dude ranch? I know, it's just fantastic. A dude ranch, Tinkerberry Dude Ranch. Lots of horses, lots of cowboys, real cowgirls too. They take care of us. It's comfortable, great rooms, great workshop. We're in this workshop all day long painting and all this wonderful Tucson, Arizona activity going on outside where they're painting, creating, and tearing paper and having way too much fun. They take care of us. Great meals too, by the way. I should let you know that. You'll come and relax. I call it a paintcation. Wherever I go to paint on a nice place like this in Tucson, Arizona, I call it a paintcation. So sign up today, right away. Sign up today and go to my website for Tucson, Arizona. I'll see you there. Get your brushes ready.